Welcome to the cabin. Come see what me and the boys are up to today. It's, I don't know, something like 7:30 or so on a Wednesday morning. TJ didn't want to come, but Charlie wanted to go for a little romp around the backwoods. There he is. I was just noticing this really old birch. It's still quite alive. It's full of leaves this summer, but I just noticed all these mushrooms growing on this side of it because it's in a real swampy area here. You see, when it's raining, normally it's surrounded by water, but yeah, it's got all these mushrooms. I don't know how much longer that's going to be alive. I should maybe consider that for some future firewood. It's very wet. It was raining out all night. It's probably about, what is it, +3. Went up to 8 yesterday. Double it and add 30 for all you Fahrenheit folks. Yeah, so we're just gonna do a little walk around. It's a little easier because the ground's not covered in snow anymore and ice. Just little spatters of it here and there. When we walk around the edge of the property, it takes us about 20-25 minutes. Then maybe we'll keep doing some drywalling. I've been taking advantage of this little thaw. I'm down in a hole where the cabin is, so it's hard to get the ATV up with the little trailer on the back when it gets frozen and icy. So I barely managed to get it up there yesterday. I was resigned to hauling in the drywall one piece at a time. I did it when I first moved here, but I didn't want to if I didn't have to. So I did manage to get the last 4 pieces of drywall down there and got all the main walls done and brought in a full sheet so that it's in out of the rain, because I knew it was going to rain all tonight. So I just have to do the little pieces between the extension and the A-frame. Oh, Charlie saw something. Probably a bird, I would guess. So yeah, I thought oh no, it was a squirrel. I thought I'd get all the pieces in the cabin, and it's a rainy day, so I can just plug away inside. And then I've got all the taping and mudding and sanding to do through the winter. I never did the first half of the cabin. I kind of figured I'd just do it all at once because it's such a mess. I think I might study up on wet sanding with a sponge. People do it, so I'd like to learn it, and then there's no dust. Wouldn't that be a skill to have? It's the sanding that I hate the most. Charlie's having a blast. This is another future firewood candidate. I know where it's going to fall. It may affect some other maples over here though. I'm hoping it'll just slide right down. You know, it'll just slide right down this one. End up in here. Hopefully. Might do that in the spring. Buck it up and split it in the fall. I'm a season ahead now, which is where I want to be with firewood. Oh, I think that's a small little maple that died. I can get a little bit of wood out of that. Try to get the standing deadwood as much as possible, so that I'm not cutting down a living tree. Or I'll keep an eye on ones that are on their way out. Get them before they get punky. Speaking of the devil right here, look at that. This one's split. It's hollow. Yep. It's fallen over. Not much wood out of that one, but may as well harvest it. Use it up. There's one over here that I recently cut. Standing deadwood. And there's another one right there. Little one. But there's a bit of wood there. Yeah. Actually, this one was a living tree. That's right. I brought the dead tree I cut up was worth cutting. That's the stump over there. But it took out a small tree. That one right there. So I cut that up. I'll bring it to my new spot where I'm going to process my wood. Bring that next in the spring, the summer, bring it down to split up. There's a couple other trees I'll show you. A couple more I want to get here. Oh, here's a small one here I'm putting my foot on. Still solid. I've always been eyeing this one here. It's still actually barely alive. It's got like one branch with some leaves. It falls right on my property line. You can see my ribbons there. The base of it. We'll get that next summer too. But I always wrote the one off at the bottom. I never took a close look at it. I was thinking it was softwood, but I think that's an old maple. It's got a little bit of fungus on it, but not a lot. I'll have to do a cut and see if it's worth harvesting. This one definitely is. And then there's a couple more. They might be too far gone though. There's a couple more up here. The woodpeckers have already got at them. I might just leave them alone. Close to where Charlie is, I'm up here. I think that one with the ribbon on it too. That one there might be worth cutting down. And there's a couple other small ones through the back. The granddaddy of them all is down that way. Maybe I'll cut over on the way. I don't want to miss this back trail and take Charlie through it. Yeah, this one, there's a pecker hole there, but it feels very solid. I hope Charlie thinks I'm treating a squirrel or something. Bit of wood there. And this one, I think the top, there's going to be some good wood out of that. Maybe the part that doesn't have any bark on it there. Yeah, the woodpeckers haven't gotten at it too bad. That's a good one. Now here is a perfect find. It had maybe a couple of leaves on it, if anything. I think the worms, caterpillars did it in this summer. So it's fresh, fresh, fresh. I definitely got to get that one. It's prime. Right, Charlie? Yeah, it's prime. I would have liked to have been around when this split. Must have happened a year or two before I got here or more. See it all split off that side here. It's already a big tree. Imagine when it had its full trunk. That's what split off all down there. I actually tried burning it the first winter, and it was really hard. It was really punky and wet because I was running out of wood, and I cut it in like January, February, something like that. So I mentioned there's one back here that's the granddaddy of them all, of the standing deadwood. I just gotta find it. It's off trail quite a bit. I'm gonna have fun lugging it out. Oh, there it is over here. Yeah, I'm gonna have to. There's a secondary trail just up here that I'm gonna have to get access to it with. Is that it? Yeah. Oh man. Go around and double back. But it's hung up in a very awkward way. I think I'm gonna have to sacrifice the maple it's leaned up against. Sometimes, see, it's leaning against this healthy maple. Sometimes I'll cut it or notch it and have it fall. I may try that a couple times because it straightens the tree out. It drops, and then when it drops, I'll cut it again. But it's dangerous because there's so much compression there. You got to do it a certain way, and I don't know if I can get it. It's such a steep hill here. Like that's up there, the base of that. So I think I'll be safer to just cut that and get the heck out of the way as soon as it starts going. But look at all the wood. I could burn that right now because it's been dead for a few years. All the bark's coming off. All that stuff up there is so solid. Yep. So with that little tour, I might not have to cut down any living trees for not this winter, not next winter, but the winter after that. Actually, next winter I've got a lot of birch and a little bit of maple that I cut cleaning a customer's property. Okay, now we're back on the main trail. So I gotta remember, it's basically where the hill just starts. So I'll probably go in from here and get it. I can't even see it anymore. It's back there somewhere. Oh, there it is, right there. We came downhill a little bit. Oh yeah, that's not far off the trail at all. I can get it right here. I can go straight in there. That's the tree right there. Perfect. It's almost a path leading right to it. I'll have to be careful how much I put in the trailer. This is a pretty steep hill to come down loaded. Probably have to do this one in the summer when it's dried up a bit. It'll be too wet and sloppy like it is right now all spring. I call this Pistol Hill because that old hemlock looks like a pistol. Yep, that's good. And then maybe for the winter after these ones, there'll be more dead trees. I actually have a hard time when I'm starting to cut down trees on the property. I'm fine once I make my first cut, but I feel a little sad that I'm cutting down these trees that have been around longer than me. But I don't feel so bad that I'm gonna go out and buy my firewood or freeze to death. Fellow's gotta live, you know. I'm just trying to be smart about what I take down. The more I look, the more standing deadwood I see. There's one that's been down for a while. I haven't taken a close look at it. It's splintered off. The more you look, the more you find. Especially this time of year. All the leaves are gone, you get a clear view. There's another future candidate, leaner, going up. It's kind of branchy though. That one's even better, that leaner there. It's all trunk. That's what you want. And you don't have a bunch of knots and where the branches are coming out, making it hard to split. Not a whole lot here. There's a lot of yellow birch. That burns really nice. I love my maple though. That's seasoned maple I'm using this year. It's so nice to burn. So controllable. And it lights well. Yeah, there's actually, I think there's a couple more candidates up here as we walk back to the cabin. Actually, we're just coming past a little clearing. This was already a bit of a clearing when I first got the property. And I cut this was for my second winter. I cut down 5 trees in around here. There's one. There was a couple over there. One here. 2 there. And this one. And that got me through the winter and then some. That was just a little experiment. I wanted to see if I made it even more of a clearing, what would happen. At this point I'm trying to spread my tree picking out as much as possible. I don't want to pick more than one from a certain area unless there's a few dead ones, then it doesn't matter. But yeah, there's been a lot of grass growing up there. It's kind of in the center of the property, so you can actually see it when you're walking around. You see the light coming down through because there's no canopy there. We're back to that big birch with the mushrooms on it, fungus growing on it. These yellow birch are so beautiful when they're wet. They look so golden. Look like golden birch, right? Really brings out the color in them. Another one over there. Beautiful. I love all these old hemlocks. They're the biggest trees I've got, for the most part. The most number of large trees. There's the odd large tree in other species, but most of the big trees are all hemlocks. I don't know if I had hemlocks back east. Maybe I just wasn't paying attention, but I don't remember them. And I've fallen in love with them. They're a spooky old tree with, they look so gangly with all their, I don't know how to describe it. They look messy, just all the sporadic leaves or branches coming out everywhere. And they're just so huge. Those hemlocks, I think it's a different type of hemlock, but you know, it's associated with a poison. Hemlock, I think it's a shrub with berries or something. It's got nothing to do with these trees unless that's what they look like when they're saplings. I don't know. Here's an example of a big old tree that rivals most of the hemlocks. That's an old yellow birch. Probably the biggest one on the property. There we've done our little loop. This is this is going to be my firewood-based video. Didn't intend for it to be. It just kind of went that way. I had a heck of a time. You can see how my tire track's going up here and getting stuck, and had to make a few runs. This splitter is old and freaking heavy. But this is where I'm going to start processing my wood. Frees up some driveway space. Yeah, this is my old beast. So there's some birch from this year that I've got to split up. And this is a spot I've started. This is spot number 1, 2, 3, 4. So this will be not like for not this winter, not next winter, but the winter after that. And so I will make a pile there, but I'll have some space down by the cabin. That's the wood I'm using right now. I'll have some space down there. You can see my pile for next winter. You can see the blue tarp right through there. So it's a little closer. See if you come down here. This is the ridge overlooking my lower trail that goes across the bridge and across the waterfall. The bridge is right there. So the waterfall is just up there. There's the lower trail. It goes over to the cabin just over there. That's the pond you see through my kitchen window. I'm fond of taking pictures of it, and kind of I'll have it so that the frame of the window looks like a picture frame. I just hit a wet branches. People are always commenting that it looks like a picture. And there's my little cabin that I built. Started doing some Crownland camping when it was colder out in the late fall, and as soon as the snow was gone in the spring,